Welcome to this video. I just wanted to take you through on the back of a session that myself and Mark are working on today, where we're up to with the point of sale benchmarking program. One of the cool things that we took from one of the participants in the last quarter, they're putting in a tech center into their shop, and they asked me to take the data, cut it in half out of those who are currently using a tech center for fitting and sales, and those who aren't. And the interesting thing was that across the year, we can see that actually in that quarter, that driver sales for the tech center accounts was up 27% over those who don't have a tech center, and fairways and hybrids, more importantly, was up 53% over those who don't have a tech center, which, you know, when we take that data and spread it across 12 months, gives us that $40,000 in additional revenue that we're looking at now. That'll shape itself as we go on, particularly as we start to include the iron sales data. But certainly a very interesting observation, and what we would see as a game changer. And no doubt those who are putting the technology in are working harder and driving harder to get a return on that, which increases the sales. But certainly the data that we've taken from the point of sale benchmarking backs that up. So very interesting insights. Something that I was talking to Mark about was the categories that we're reporting on. So for those of you who aren't already participating in the point of sale benchmarking, you can see here the breakdown. And, you know, if you're interested in getting involved in the program, this is what we would require of you in your business, is that you record in these categories, which is accessories, drivers, bags, clothing, putters, buggies, balls, clubs, gloves, shoes, repairs, lessons, and carts. When you do, you don't necessarily have to report in all of these categories, because you'll see inside the clips that as the data gets loaded, each category is its own individual ranking. So you could participate in just one of these areas. It could be lessons, it could be accessories. But obviously, if you're going to participate and you're going to benefit, it would be great if we can align everybody with how you operate your business as a best practice, so that we can have all of these categories reporting the same. And then within this benchmark, within this dashboard, you'll then be able to see where your turnover and where your margin exists versus the national ranking versus the benchmark. And then you're able to set, with myself and Mark and Darren, you're able to set targets going forwards each quarter on where you would like to achieve growth and how you would like to position yourself against that national benchmark. So fantastic marker, fantastic engagement piece, certainly for myself and Mark, to talk to you guys about your business, to give you opportunities to grow through marketing, and to be more strategic with everything, even when it comes to buying, you know, where you can secure better deals, what is a better deal based on the data. Mark, have you anything to put into there?
Hey, Lee, just one question. How many shops are participating at the moment? And you touched on the shops, or the guys that want to get involved don't necessarily have to get involved in all the categories. They can get involved in one or two or three or four, or the ones that are important to them. So firstly, how many are there? How many shops involved, and how do they get involved from here?
Yeah, thanks, Mark. So at the moment, we've got 17 golf shops involved. And obviously, those are the stores that are capable of being involved, which means that they have a goods inwards procedure that involves the stock being registered on arrival into the pro shop, which is key, because without the ability to produce the cost of goods sold, there's very little engagement in this piece, really. You know, you need to know what the product is that you're selling, how much it costs you, so that we can produce that in a report that then sits inside this benchmark. But as I say, you know, there is the capacity for somebody to tiptoe into this space. You know, we would support somebody who's keen to get involved. We can certainly work on a session if they reach out to you or I, and we can help them to either improve their point of sale procedures or improve their reporting capabilities. So you know, nothing is, you know, if we set it as a target and we want to get it done, we're perfectly happy to help with all of that. But yeah, at the moment we've got 17 participating stores, but you can see here in the national ranking on this data that you know, in this accessories category, we've got 13 stores contributing, whereas in driver sales we've got 10 stores contributing, and a lot of this is down to the quality of the data that's coming through. So in this case, several stores would have been reporting driver sales inaccurately, in which case then we can include them in the benchmark data. So it's all clean data, which gives us the confidence that we're producing reports that are accurate, which is key.
Yeah. Now, you're going to cut this up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So just another question: does it cost any extra money to be a part of this POS program?
No, no, the point of sale program is a member benefit. There's no additional cost. All it's doing really is providing value to our relationship, because obviously in the sense that we're no longer with these 17 stores that are contributing, from a business perspective, we're talking about producing either buying or marketing initiatives that are based around the data that's relevant to their business, as opposed to subjectively producing marketing based on the time of the year or the supplier's desires. So this is really, it really augments the relationship that we have with the members.
And if I wanted to be a part of the POS program as a pro shop, do I see? I mean, I can see if I'm Joe at Cumberland, I'm seeing my data and a bunch of numbers. Do I see other pro shops, or call it other names of pro shops, or are they anonymous?
No, it's all anonymous. So good question. This data here that you're looking at is part of the development platform. So it's not it's placeholder data. It's not actual data that we're looking at here on this. But generally speaking, when you log into your own dashboard, you'll only be looking at your own data. You won't be able to see any other golf courses data. However, there is the opportunity to engage in conversation with yourself or myself. For example, let's say that you're sitting in 13th out of 13 for accessory sales, to find out, is there somebody in the top 3 that might be willing to have a conversation either with us or with that professional to figure out what it is that they could do differently. So great networking opportunity, a great opportunity for members to help members to grow their business, by the leaders supporting those. And it could be a two-way conversation, so the person who's leading in ball sales perhaps might be lagging behind in driver sales. So a great opportunity for everyone to help each other out and raise the bar, grow the pie.
Thank you. And where would if I was a part of the POS program, where would you find that? How do I get access to my dashboard?
Yep. So the dashboards are all built. So there's a bit of development behind them. But the first thing to do to get involved with the program is to share a quarterly report from your point of sale dashboard. So from your own point of sale system, simply download the quarterly. And what you'll do is we're reporting, so we can retrospectively add in Q1 for this year, which would be January to March. But obviously then very soon, once we get past the end of the financial year, we'll be into the next quarter. So we'll be looking at 2 quarters worth of data here. In which case then you could send through 2 separate reports. The most immediate one obviously would be January to March. But then from there, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be able to look at Q2 as well. So once you're sharing that data, really that's all it is. It's downloading the sheet, emailing it across to myself or yourself, and then we do all the back end work in getting it in here into the visualization for the benchmarking.
Yeah, and where would I, as a pro shop owner, where would I actually view my dashboard? Where would I see that?
Yep. So once the clips are built, which is inside this dashboard, we then add a link which will allow you to view it from inside your own dashboard, inside your own golf club. So that link, because we're in the development stage.
Sorry, inside Golf Hub. Yeah. And one final question, sorry. Target turnover. Is that something that you and I would work with each pro shop to set the target turnover? And I can see if you scroll up and down there, we've got some green arrows pointing up and some red arrows pointing down. Obviously, they'll change depending on the number there, but say for this placeholder example, did we set a target turnover of 14,735 and it's actually 12,857. So we're down a little bit. Is that how we read that?
That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. So based on each quarter's results, we go through a review with every point of sale benchmarking contributing store. So in this placeholder example of Cumberland, we would then be discussing with Cumberland and their team how they feel they did against the benchmark, where they feel there's opportunities to improve, and if it's an area that they want to chase. And in that case, then we would simply, on our end, we would note down the target turnover for the next quarter, and then work towards that. So each quarter is a retrospective view on how we've achieved based on those target turnovers, and then also a planning session for the next quarter to see where the areas for improvement and where we want to set targets and goals.
Okay. Thank you. I have no more questions.
Cool. Good questions.